thanks for what you do with your podcast and all the rest. You're doing a great job. Hope everybody keeps tuning in. You get a lot of good info, a lot of insights, understandings of how to get strong, how to stay strong, how to use your strength.
You do a great job, dude. You make things better than they are in real life, I think.
If you don't follow Massenomics, y'all do it. Social media, website, everything.
Massenomics.
Yeah, if you don't follow Massenomics, y'all do it. Social media, website, everything.
Massenomics.
Welcome, everyone, to episode 200
of
the Massenomics Podcast, the lifting podcast about nothing. So we finally made it to 200.
Mm-hmm. That's a lot of nothing.
Your favorite two hosts are back for 200. My name's Tanner.
And my name is Tommy.
Well, Tommy, we made it to 200. It's the 200-pound gorilla in the room.
We did what couldn't be done, and unlike every other time we've said this, we actually have something today.
We do have something
we've
today.
kept it a surprise for a while now.
Yeah, so it's exciting
or
for us.
Or a secret, I should say. Yeah, so this is exciting.
It is. But we're not getting to that right
Yeah, we're not going to get to that. It's still a secret though. We're not going to get to it.
That's still in a few minutes here we'll get to that to the biggest surprise. But first, before we even get into that, a word from our sponsors of the show that helped get us here to 200.
Oh, I messed it up.
Yeah. There we go. Today's show is brought to you by Lifting Large. Lifting Large is your one-stop online shop for powerlifters, strongmen, Highland Games athletes, CrossFit athletes, and anyone that lifts iron. Visit liftinglarge.com today. There's free shipping on any orders over $60, and 99% of the orders are shipped the same day they are placed. Today's episode is also brought to you by Spud Inc. The goal of Spud Inc. straps is to make products that support sports performance and help everyone achieve their training goals. They make products that last forever, won't bust your budget, and most importantly, leave no doubt about success when everything is on the line. Check them out online at spud-inc-straps.com. This episode is also brought to you by Hybrid Performance Method. They're your one-stop shop for all things fitness and online coaching. Whether your goals are training-related, nutrition and body composition-related, or both, Hybrid has a program for you. With dedicated and experienced coaches in each strength and fitness discipline, you can rest assured that you're in the best hands possible. Make sure to use our discount code MASS, M-A-S-S, in all caps for 5% off any training or nutrition memberships for the life of your membership. Visit hybridperformancemethod.com. So those are our sponsors there.
Yeah.
Do we have something to celebrate 200 with? Then?
I think we have a lot of things to celebrate. Should we both take ours out at the same time?
We could do that.
Okay. Here, I got to take my headphones off too.
When you say both take ours out at the same time, you referring to that we're going to finally show everyone our penises.
Well, that was the reveal for 200. There's the secret, everyone. You got it.
Okay, just a second while we
hold on.
Get our penises out.
So Tanner, I got us this lovely bottle of bubbly here.
I also got us something else to commemorate the occasion.
I see it's in a koozie, so that's most important. I also have glasses with koozies on them.
So we have what is it that you have there?
This is a finely,
because it doesn't look like a LaCroix.
This is a finely aged bottle of Andre Brut California champagne.
Spamonte.
Yeah, with fresh notes of pear and lemon. Didn't want to give it all away, but you know it now.
Oh, Limone, I think is how they pronounce it there.
Pamplemousse and Limone, I think is what they were trying to
Brut,
say.
is that like the cologne then?
I'm pretty sure it tastes similar. This is actually going to be this might take a good 10 minutes just opening this damn thing. I might not even have the tools in place to do it.
Brut, your father's cologne.
Like, do you remember your dad having Brut?
Oh, yeah.
I feel like I do, too.
Yeah.
That and...
I think everyone's dad.
I think so. And there was another...
pungent.
There was a deodorant my dad had that I feel like is just such a dad deodorant, and I can't even think of what it was now.
Right Guard?
Not Right Guard. It was
I've had Right Guard.
It was it was a clear gel.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what the hell it was. Something that when you put it on your armpits, they feel wet instantly. Like the worst trait you could ever have in a deodorant.
Yeah. Ooh.
You know it's a good champagne when it has a screw top on it.
Ooh, it still had a pop to it, though.
Still a little pop to it.
I think we caught that on audio even.
Wow. Well, doesn't really smell good. I'll give it that.
Is that good?
Well, there's one glass of fine bubbly. Tanner, there's more where that came from.
This might do me.
Just wait. Just wait.
I just had to get the. So cheers.
Cheers. Wow.
I mean,
Champagne's fine. I've
Tastes what
never
those
like
taste like.
really thought that champagne is like good. Have you?
no, I don't like it.
I've never been like, oh yes, we get champagne
No,
like at a holiday or anything.
No, does
First of
anyone
all,
really like it?
First of all, I don't really know anyone who's like, it's the holidays. We get to have that bottle of
Yeah,
champagne.
yeah.
I guess outside of New Year's, I don't
It
know.
tastes all right though.
It is fine. It is
And
fine.
being in this Massenomics deadlifter koozie, it tastes even better. I know that.
It is cold, so it's got that going
Yep.
for it.
Now, do you know what this is before you look at it?
I have a
Because it's
slight.
not really in a can.
I have a
so-
slight idea. Do you want me to say what I think it is?
I mean, you can go ahead and you can take your guesses if you need to, but
I think it's Perrier,
yeah,
isn't it?
This not being in a typical can kind of gives away what it is.
God,
but
we got
this
so-
is also a
We got
celebratory
so many liquids.
beverage.
We got so many liquids on the podcast today. That's sparkling water, I
Yep.
guess.
Yep.
You know what's funny is probably
Perrier.
2 years ago I would have said, "Well, this is disgusting and dumb," and now I drink it, I'm like, "Oh, this is totally refreshing
It
and fine."
it is kind of good, isn't it?
I've never had one before.
Oh, it's
Have you had one?
No, I think my wife has these around sometimes, but I don't think
and
I've
she's
ever
been holding out
Yep,
on you. Huh?
Yep. Carbonated mineral water. Perrier.
Yeah, not bad at all.
No flavor. Not much
Nope.
less flavor than a LaCroix, though.
No flavor.
Yeah.
Slightly less flavor than LaCroix.
It is good,
You
though.
know, it could be a real trick. You could almost hand someone one of these that drinks LaCroix and be like, "What flavor of this?" And be like, "Is it a flavor or not?"
Plain?
Yeah.
Plain LaCroix?
Well, there is pure. Pure is an option.
You could almost get tricked into thinking that has
Well,
a flavor.
it probably
though,
doesn't
too.
hurt when you just drank some champagne,
Right.
too.
That's true. The palate is not cleansed.
Yep. It's all about the cleansing of the palate.
All right. So that's our celebratory
Wow.
beverages.
Wow. All types of beverages.
So with 200, I mean, there's 200 things at least we could talk about as far as memories of
easily
making it to 200.
things.
But is there anything like quickly that stands out to you as we don't have a ton of time because we have some important things we have to get to.
We actually do. Yeah. Our cutoff is like we have about 4 minutes before we have to start
But
getting
is there
to.
anything to you that really sticks out as some of the
First of all, just the fact that we're at 200.
Yeah.
That seems impossible. I think I've said it multiple times on the podcast. I thought there was no way this would make it past 20 episodes.
right? Like
And
which
why
most-
why
with
why
most-
would it?
yeah.
Why should it have?
If you just go by the odds are it's probably not going to make it past 5 or 10
Yeah.
or whatever.
And even 20, you think about
Yeah.
it, 20 is almost a half a year. Like that's a good run. But so the fact that it's going that long, we've gone through. We had Tyler, don't have Tyler now.
Yeah.
We've gone through a few different formats with things.
right.
It's taken us, I think, probably about 150 episodes to really find out maybe the way we want to do it.
Right.
I think.
Yeah. Which is true, and it took us like 3 years of
And
evolution.
not saying that this is right either, and I think this is going to be. I think this will even change some more. But
Yeah.
this is kind of in its current format. This probably starts around episode 150 ish.
Right.
I would just assume a little over a year
Yeah.
ago, probably.
That's probably about right.
Yeah. So we've had different locations, multiple locations in Tyler's house. We did a few at the gym one time.
Yeah, though,
Or
just fun to
multiple
think
times,
that's been
yeah. We did a few
even
at the
that
gym.
now has been quite a while where it was like
Ryan-
you and myself and your
Ryan
brother
helped out with
yeah.
a few.
Yeah,
we did.
We
some
set
at-
up some boxes in the
Yep.
some boxes that we just sat at.
We
at
did
the,
some at my old house.
Yep.
Now we have the spot here. Lots happened.
We
you
did a
know?
couple, 1 or 2 in like my backyard.
Yeah,
of,
we did that too. Yep, I forgot about that.
And of course, the guests. When we used to,
We used to. Tyler flew cross country multiple times to get some
even
guests
to
on.
to Canada.
Even to other countries to get some guests. So yeah, it's gone a lot. Or we've traveled too. We've gone to. We've done one with Nick Tylutke.
Yeah.
And
Which that was a long time ago.
that
now.
was a very long time ago.
years ago.
Yeah, we traveled to Sioux Falls. We had Jona Leo.
Yep.
We got Dan Bell at the Arnold. So we've that format doesn't really exist now, but we've just done and tried a lot of different things.
Yeah.
And it's been kind of crazy thinking back that, like, saying those out loud, it's like, wow, we really did do that?
Yeah.
That doesn't even seem like the same show.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't, but it's really has just been one continuous thing. You know, it's just no really one huge change over that time. It's just small changes.
It is the perfect like definition of small incremental progress.
Yeah, it is.
I'm not really sure what we're progressing towards, but it's progressed in some way. You can say that for sure.
Yeah, the biggest like individual, because I was just talking about this with my wife before I left. Then she said, "Oh, it's 200. Really? That is crazy to think." And I said, "Yeah, that is crazy." And kind of the coolest memory that I'll have of the podcast, which is not even specifically the podcast, but this was back when we were recording still in Tyler's basement. And also, we used to record upstairs in Tyler's house.
Yeah,
so I kind of even forgot that.
And the way upstairs, we did the main floor, the basement, and the way upstairs. We did 3 locations. Right. Yeah, we did 3 locations in his house.
I forgot about the way upstairs too.
That was maybe 10 episodes, maybe, probably not even.
But that's not what I was talking about. It's when we were in the basement, that's where we probably spent the most time there. I think in so. That part of the studio area. We were recording an episode. I don't know what night of the week it was. I know what day of the year it was. It was April 3rd, 2018. We just, we're just literally finishing recording, and my wife called me and said that she's on the way to the hospital, and I need to stop podcasting and go there now because she thinks that our baby might be coming. So, and we were literally like just finishing, and I was like, well, I got to go. Yeah. Like now, usually we'd sit around and maybe talk for a while more. And I was like, I better go right now. It sounds like there could be something going on. And, I went to the hospital, and our daughter was born not that night, not until the next morning, but we were in the hospital. I went from recording the podcast to the hospital. Yeah, I drove to the hospital and didn't come back to the next day or something after our daughter was born. So I'll probably always, remember that.
Oh yeah, that's. I don't know if you've ever even told me that before. Yeah, you probably haven't.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure if I've actually talked about. That is
funny though.
Maybe back at the time, I probably talked about it on the next podcast episode or something. But just like that, it's been almost 2 years. I don't remember if we talked about that even. But I will never forget that. Obviously. It's a cool memory.
Oh, it's very cool. Especially, I was thinking, where is he going with this? That he knows the date of a podcast. That's pretty big.
Yeah, no, that's
now I know.
Yep. Yeah, and because her birthday is the next day. That's how I know. Plot twist. Your relative was our doctor.
That was the plot twist. Wow.
So that was the one note I had. But do you think we should dive into what we're going to dive into here?
I think we should. I think you should spool up what we're spooling here, Tanner.
Okay. So
here, maybe, get that going.
Okay.
And just give me the signal when we're good, Tanner, and I'll pump the volume here.
Okay.
So, guys, this is you could say this is the start of season 3 of the Massenomics Podcast. It starts this very moment, and this is
I think.
Oh, I don't want to give it away too soon. Okay. Oh, what's that noise? What's happening here? Hello?
How's it going, guys? Can you hear me all right?
Oh, can you introduce yourself?
Hi, guys. My name is Tyler Stone, and I am in no way currently affiliated with Massenomics.
So, Tyler, we were just telling the listeners that we have a big surprise. We didn't let anyone know what it was until you said hello right at that moment.
No.
Oh, no shit.
So there's been no buffer as to what's going on right now.
Nobody knew we were calling anyone, and nobody knew we were calling you. So it is a complete surprise to the audience at this point.
Oh, shit.
So you still have everyone in shock. You can say anything you want right now.
Oh man, I just want to say hi, guys.
Perfect.
So what country are you in right now?
I'm in Vienna, Austria right now. We'll be moving to Amsterdam here in like 6 weeks. So that's move number 2. So
the freaky deaky Dutch, right?
The freaky deaky Dutch, man. It'll be wild. By the way, guys, it was really funny as I was leaving. I think Massenomics had become basically a podcast that had ripped off a lot of beer logos, right? It was like kind of the thing.
No, I don't know what you're talking about there.
You
No,
guys have done really good. You do the podcast with less people, and now you rip off more beer logos and some other things. But it was actually pretty funny here. Like this shit, like my Massenomics shirts aren't funny or clever or interesting.
They lose their cultural impact in Europe.
Yeah, like if you don't know what fucking Bush Light is.
yeah.
Wait. You mean to tell me Bush Light isn't big overseas?
Believe it or not, no, it hasn't quite made its way.
Well, they'll be cultured someday, I guess.
They don't know what they're missing out on, do they?
Yeah, that's why we had the revolution, I think.
Yeah, it was for one of those reasons. It was something like that.
I had a guy even said, like, when I was first here, he's like, what's the deal with that? I mean, the shirts and they just say lift, but that's it.
Like, yeah, we get it, you lift.
Yeah, I was like, well, that is like, it is also kind of the point.
Yeah,
I communicate that to you with a shirt, but like you're missing like the most important layer. Was the only thing that makes it interesting, you know. I think the deadlifter one, the Budweiser style one, that's about the only one here that people even recognize, because there will be some in Austria where it's not even Budweiser, it's Budvar. It's the Bavarian Budweiser brand, but it is a Budweiser product, and so I think that's the only logo of those that carries over. So
yeah.
That explains why we haven't been shipping that many shirts to Austria.
I still get amazed when I see any order go overseas, and it happens. Probably one a week at least.
Oh, we sent a couple to South Korea in the last month.
South Korea popped up today, and I was thinking, who the hell in South Korea?
Yeah.
The real goal there is to get one into North Korea.
That's exactly what I thought when I saw that. I was like,
man, like
you just have to assume they're trying to smuggle it across the border. So, Tyler, do you want to tell us what time it is over there right now?
Oh, I almost don't want to. It's 3:39 in the morning.
Ooh. Yeah. So this is normally when you start your day then, though, right?
Not even close, man. Since I sold the CrossFit gym, like I at that time when I was coaching, I was like, just by requirement, like a crazy early morning person. Like 4 a.m. just had to be out the door by 4:30 every day. And as soon as I sold the business, I was like 10 o'clock, every day. And now I still I'll sleep in between 9 and 10. It's the fucking greatest thing I ever got back, was getting to sleep past sunrise.
Yeah, that's always a good thing.
So I guess if anyone's listening that, has jumped into our podcast in the last year and a half, they might not, know who you are.
You're probably right. Yeah, Tyler was, when we started the podcast, it was Tanner, Tyler, and I.
Yes, for the first how many episodes?
Probably
120 some, or
yeah, I think 120 something. Yeah. Because we had just got to 100, and we were gonna do a.
You eat 100 chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
And then I actually was a little bit inclined today to be like, I should just go get 200.
I was going to ask you that if you thought you could go through 200, because you seemed pretty confident about 100 chicken nuggets.
Listen, 100. Listen, it's easy to be confident about 100 and not be confident about 200. It was it is but anyway, part of the other deal is McDonald's in Europe is really expensive. And not everything, but some of the things don't make any sense, right? So it's like the McChicken, it's still like $1, kind of.
Yeah, it's right around there. Yeah, you can get a chicken sandwich for $1.
Yeah. So my buddy went in. He got
Tyler, since you've left, McChickens have gone up to $6. Inflation's got pretty wild over here.
I went here
trade war.
I went here with a guy, and it was €3.80 per McChicken. He got 2 McChickens. It was like almost €8, which is basically $10.
Whoa.
Which is not a value proposition that I'm willing to fucking engage in.
No
way.
I don't want no part of that.
Yeah, so McDonald's isn't really convenient or cheap for me here, where I have to take the bus and it's expensive.
Yeah. Can you fill us on what the toilet situation is in Europe?
Okay, yeah. So for the most part, where I'm at, my toilet in my house is the same ones that I hate about the toilets in Europe. If you sit in your toilet in America, you shit into the water with a hole right. You push the button, it just floats in the water, and then it goes down. Here, like I would say at least half of the toilets, at least between Holland and here in Austria, at least half have this setup where the hole where the water goes down and the water floats is like right towards the front. Like it would be the closest thing to you if you're standing up.
Yep.
So when you sit down, there's just this elevated tray. It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
You just shit on this like glass fucking shelf, like a glass plateau, and then it just sits there. It's in the air. You know, like a dog shit smells different.
Yeah.
And I think the reason it smells so much different is because it's not just in water.
Right.
Well, it's definitely not because of the dog food.
Our diets are mostly similar.
Yeah, true.
and so yeah. So then you just sit there and it just piles up. So then you get up and you get to inspect your pile, or you can see if it was so impressive that something like made its way into the hole. You're like, wow, I covered both territories today. And then you got to hit the button, and then it just blasts it all down off the thing. But it's really inefficient. It's really fucking gross, and I don't understand it. It could be worse. I could have to, like, I don't know, wipe my ass with my hand or something. It's certainly
Some people do that. Yeah.
I've only heard, and I also think that those people are being overdramatic, because I don't think that.
You're not. It's like you're not actually doing that, are you? Like
everybody has a toilet. Maybe like 50 years ago, someone had a setup like that. But you're living in that house. You got toilet paper. That's fucking.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like I learned something today.
Yeah.
Yeah. The more you know.
Do you have any other European insights you want to share with us before we let you go?
You know, I don't know. The weed in Amsterdam's not as good as they say.
Really?
No, it's all played out. America, it's the
So
one
it's
thing.
just.
America,
Is it still good, but just overhyped because it's hyped so much there?
it's not even that good. I think what happened was it was good 20 years ago when we were like kids, and you're like, oh, it'd be so cool when marijuana's legal.
Yeah.
And then Americans got their hands on it, and
Exactly. And what we did is we Walmarted weed, and we turned it all into like Four Loko and like, you know, like here it just doesn't quite add up. So I wouldn't make a special trip to the Netherlands for the weed.
well, now you can basically just visit your neighboring
Well,
state.
now I
and
don't
get
know what I'm
Canada.
doing this
You might
March.
have to get into the culture and the scenery and all the other things,
Yeah.
like a loser.
Like tulips and stuff.
Yeah, tulips and French fries and mayonnaise.
What's your favorite Massenomics shirt ever?
It's the design,
You have,
And-
you have
and-
almost all of them.
I think the deadlifter design is like just this simple pinnacle. It's like the closest ripoff. Also, you know what I mean? But it's also like the most universal. I just think it's so cool. But also like there's some value in the shirt fit too.
Sure.
Like
Yep.
I actually really loved the Huge Life shirt and the thing. I thought that was dope.
I'm
I
wearing a
wish it-
Huge Life shirt right now.
Are you? Baller move.
Yeah.
But that one in like a fucking like super athletic fit would have been nice. It was a weird one that was just a little bit big, kind of. And but I think that shirt that was like almost painted on tight, that's the fucking jacket move.
All right, that's Style Tips by Tyler.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also you should not be taking style tips or travel or drug advice. So
Or maybe toilet advice, though.
toilet though, definitely I'm your guy.
All right. Well, Tyler,
We've got to call. We've got at least 3 other people that we're going to visit with here today.
And you
so-
haven't told them. You haven't told the other people.
No, we haven't
haven't
spilled the
told-
beans,
yeah.
and you actually don't know either. But
Yeah, that's kind of bullshit too. But
they're all. You're gonna want to listen to it. They're all people that you know and would like
this
to
is
hear from.
you guys. You know what Tanner means by that? He was like, Tyler, they're all definitely more famous than you are.
Not necessarily in the world of Massenomics. None of
All right, I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
none of them have been on the show for 120 sometimes.
I'm going to be honest. This is going to be out of 120 some episodes. This will be the first one that I listened to from beginning.
Yeah.
yeah.
When as you leave here, what I wondered if you could do is, you know how at the end of the show you always used to do the rundown. Will you give us one last rundown?
Oh shit!
Do you remember how it goes?
I remember. Yeah. Okay, so well, that's going to do it for today, everybody. Make sure you head on over to Massenomics.com. There you're going to find our shirts, hats, gear. We got the Lift Flex Flask. We have all the other flasks. We have the banners in the store. The Lift shorts. I don't have to say anything more about the Lift shorts. Make sure you click subscribe. Make sure you follow at Massenomics on Instagram. You can follow Tommy at Tomahawk_D, and I'm Tyler at Tyler Effenstone. I got to get one other plug in. Make sure you follow us at StrongFit1 on Instagram and the StrongFit podcast for me on YouTube or everything else. It's been a pretty cool project, and Julian has pretty much drags me into deep water every day. So it's been pretty wild. It's actually, it's funny. It's like I went from, when we started, it was the strength podcast about nothing.
Yep.
And then I end up with this brilliant French dude. And now I have like the strength podcast. It's about like the most complicated shit.
Yeah, the opposite.
It's got to be in extremes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be show prep. We still do as little show prep as we did with Massenomics, like pre-show.
That's pretty impressive.
Except we're going in and he's like, okay, so today we're gonna address like the functional mechanisms of lactate and the sense of self. Okay, all right.
I don't know enough to disagree with you.
That's pretty much what the conversation Tommy and I had right before recording this one. Those are our latter topics for the second half of the show.
Yeah, we might get around to that if we have time. Awesome, fellas. Well, it's been a pleasure, man. Everybody who's listening, thanks a lot for checking everything out. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I'll see you guys soon, man.
All right, awesome. Take
Thanks,
it easy.
Tyler.
Take it easy, lemon squeezy.
That's right.
Wow.
So that was Tyler Effenston E.
That was, if I had to complain, he did miss one part of his rundown. If you would like to send us money or send us money.
Yes.
that was the one he missed. I did forget actually all of the other parts. He usually
had that one in there anytime. If you want to, send us money or, send us money.
Yeah. Yep, that one was always it. But that was a pretty good rundown for not doing one for several years.
A year and a half, probably.
Yeah. Wow, so we got our first guest, our first surprise.
Yeah.
Our first trip down memory lane is complete.
Right. That was the first stop in our tour.
That was our
200
first
tour.
stop. Should we hop on the bus
keep going,
for stop number 2?
I don't know why not. We're just going to keep the train rolling.
Now we're just going to play some of our favorite songs we've heard over the past year, right?
Our favorite songs.
Tanner has his phone plugged into the aux port, so we're just going to play some songs we like to listen to. And getting guest number 2 spooled up here. It's going to be really disappointing when...
Hello, it's Jona.
Jonah?
Yes, sir.
Like Jona Leo?
Are you the one from The Whale?
Well, technically the Ark.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. So what's up, fellas?
Can you introduce yourself one more time for the guests here?
My name is Jona Leo, and I'm an IPF World Bench Press Champion. And better yet, I'm a South Dakota resident, right along with these Massenomics dudes.
Yeah, there we go.
All right. So, Jonah, we haven't had that many guests on the show over the last 200 episodes here, but was Jonah the first or the second? He was was he the first?
He was the first that I was a part of, that's for sure.
I think you were the first guest that we ever had, and I don't know what number episode that was, but I'm thinking off the top of my head it was about number 30, something like that. So it was about 170 episodes ago, but so probably 3 years, getting close to 3 years ago. Mm-hmm. But I wondered what you remembered about that, Jonah, when we recorded that episode with you.
Well, first off, the reason why you probably haven't had more guests on is because you probably couldn't find any more sketchy living rooms.
We did. The listeners probably don't know. We recorded that episode in one of Tyler's friends' living rooms in a city that none of us live in. So it was like we're just showing up at a house and recording an episode.
A house that none of us have ever been in before.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure you guys put in some double D batteries and then push the record and play button at the same time on your boombox to record the episode too.
Yeah, it was we brought our fancy equipment for that one, I think.
Only the best.
Yeah. We pulled out all the stops for you.
We did have beer though. I do remember that.
Oh, okay.
So I don't even remember that even.
I remember it somewhat, but I know we got a good picture where we're out on the lawn giving some flexing. I do remember that part of it.
I remember you forced me and my training partner at the time, Phil, to sit on this love seat that really was probably classified as a really large chair, not a love seat.
Yeah.
So,
that was right. That was correct. Yep.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah. So you mentioned it, IPF World Bench Press Champion. How many times what is your little bit more bio on that? How many times have you competed at Worlds and that sort of thing?
Well, this spring will be my 10th trip. The first 2 years I did not medal. I think I got a 5th and an 8th. And then since then I've won 4 opens, world championships. And then I took silver the other, what would that be? I'm at 9. So obviously 6 years. No, what the hell? My math is bad. 3 and 4. Okay. So I got 3 silvers and 4 gold. Okay. That's what I got. So yeah, it's been pretty fun. 4 IPF Open World Bench Records, 1 Masters. And I'm just getting older, man.
And you keep those IPF championship medals like right next to your Massenomics t-shirt collection in your in your trophy display case, I'm assuming.
Well, I technically have all the medals all stuffed together in a koozie, a lift koozie.
There we go. All right, that's how a champion does it.
That's fair.
So how's the training been going lately? What's been happening with that?
It's been a little rough, fellas. Not gonna lie to you. We moved out of the city of Sioux Falls, which those of you who don't know is the largest city in South Dakota, about 190,000 people, and I was 10 minutes from my gym at the time, and we moved out to an acreage about 25 minutes from town. So getting to the gym is a little bit tougher, a little bit shorter time. And so to combat the problem, I built a 63 by 42 shed on site, and going to start filling that in with equipment and start training here, in which after it's completely filled in and pimped out, this Coop guy from this
Garage Gym Reviews.
He is not invited. He asked me up already. but training's been kind of rough, but I'm still hitting the numbers. I'm still hitting the big meets. I don't know what else I can say about it. I think we all have low times and high times in our training, and if we can keep our low times from getting too bad, and then capitalize when it's training's going good, I think we all become successful that way.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. And you did say too, for your new space, you're going to have too many plates. So you're going to gift us some of your York plates. Then that was the plan.
There's no such thing as too many plates. You know that, guys.
Well, but York ones. I thought you said you didn't
had
want
too many
those
York
ones, right?
plates that you needed to get rid of.
Well, I'm up to 84, and I think I got my hands on about another 20.
Do you? Wow. So you must know a guy then.
I know some people, and it's really bad. You're infected with the York plate disease. When I go, I'm helping coach Midland University out at Collegiate Nationals in Pennsylvania. So what do I naturally do? Go to Facebook Marketplace,
see what's available while you're there.
Type in York, Pennsylvania, and then start typing in York plates, and it's like paradise out there.
Of course,
the motherland.
Yeah,
I'm really thinking about renting a box truck and making it look like I got a whole lot of stuff coming home.
Prices are probably cheaper too, because everyone's like, "Well, there's York plates everywhere. We've all got Yorks."
Oh yeah, I mean it's like South Dakota and meth. I mean it's everywhere. So it's cheap.
We're on it. Yeah,
we are on it.
What about Jona? The other thing I was thinking about too is, I think we probably had podcasted with you first, but you also put on some pretty big meets here, and you've done the state ones for South Dakota a few times, and then you just did bench press nationals and that sort of thing. But do you remember anything about the Massenomics guys when you've did a couple of those first state meets that we all were down there at?
I was wondering who these guys were showing up with all these matching T-shirts. Like, dude, who these? They got pajamas to go with it. No, I still remember the crew coming in. You guys were laughing, always having a good time. And I mean, you got to have a great time when you're lifting like that. So
Yep.
I do kind of remember Tommy. I still feel bad about this. We were all lined up at the convention center and had a men's and women's weigh-in lines.
Yeah.
Tommy was in the. You remember this, Tom?
I remember.
He's in the men's line, and it's just flowing Goldilocks hair. You know, I walk up and I'm like, "Hey, women's line's over there." I don't think he was too amused.
Yeah.
Well, it was fine. You know, it all went over just well.
I have hair jealousy, you know. But,
Everyone does. It comes with the territory.
But the meats that you put on, Tommy and I can speak from experience. I mean, they're just about as cool as a powerlifting meat gets, as far as the lifter experience, for sure.
Yeah,
right?
I don't know what you outside of some of the meats at the Arnold. I don't really know what's better than that.
Right.
You know, it's run super well. The production value's there. It's just all the amenities you need as a lifter. It's an amazing setup and venue that you have.
So what's your secret
you,
what's your secret sauce for that?
Secret sauce is number one. I'm very anal retentive in everything I do.
So, does that mean you plan starting the week before, or?
Usually, when I'm loading the truck, I start calling help.
There you go.
What it boils down to is I'm a firm believer that you have to create that experience. So, if my entry fee is set at $75 or $100, whatever it is, you need to give that money back to the lifter, and whether it's awards or a DJ or Gino or whatever in the event. So ultimately I can show you, I get my buddy Brad Slining gives me a hard time because I have spreadsheets for everything, but I can show you in spreadsheets, there's mini meets where I'm like $8 in the black at the start of the meet.
Yeah. Right.
To where I really make the money that I'm going to take home off the gate, which if you have good production, like that state meet you guys ran, we had a 4 to 1 lifter spectator ratio.
And that's
that does not happen.
Unheard of.
Especially, a South Dakota state meet, in Sioux Falls. It was pretty crazy.
I think a lot of big meets that get hyped up don't do that.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, we had like 442 people pay that day coming in, and I know we had another at least 50 volunteers with Midland University and everything else. They need to throw 110 lifters in there, and I wasn't charging coaches either back then. Mm-hmm. So that was a 700 person room is what it was for a South Dakota meet. So I'm pretty proud of that. It creates something people look forward to.
For sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
As lifter, I mean, in South Dakota, we're little bit limited of our options for meets that you want to do unless you're willing to travel more. But even if that wasn't the case, that would be the best meet that anyone has the ability to go to within even a reasonable distance.
It kind of almost like it spoils you and ruins it
does
because
kind of,
you hold that as the standard in your head,
right.
and it's an unrealistic standard for 90+% of people, but that's just what you get used to, and you just want everything to be like that.
Well, you hit the nail on the head, because I struggle with it myself, going, man, like I'll go warm up on whatever garbage I got, it's a meet, it's competition. That's why I do it. But I think today's lifters have become to the point where they kind of want that pampering. They need to have this ER rack or Eleco, and they got to have this and that, where the old school guy in me I don't like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because you should be able to travel and lift anywhere, anytime. But it's just not this day and age. So you just got to make it happen the right way.
Well, at least you're aware of that. A lot of people, I feel like, would be like, nope, this is how it's always been done.
Yeah. Yeah. When are you putting on the next one? That's the question.
I was really looking at something this spring for just like a push-pull, kind of a novice meet, get people involved. Uh-huh. But I'm just going to hold off. I'm thinking August 29th is going to be one. It's going to give people in the USA powerlifting world plenty of time before Raw Nationals to run another short cycle. Mm-hmm. Nebraska had a vacancy in one of their meet directors, so they typically had a staple August meet. So I'm actually just kind of taking that meet over and going to move to South Dakota.
Cool.
There we go.
So, yeah, I got the venue set up, and I don't have Gino, though.
Oh, is he going somewhere else that weekend or what?
Yeah, he is. I forget where he even said. No Gino, but I'll have a DJ. Okay. Got another announcer lined up, and I don't know. I need to find some personality. You can't replace Gino. I mean,
No, that's tough.
That is really tough to replace.
Yes. He is who he is for a reason, you know.
Yep. Hey, he's got. I don't know if you know this about the man. He'll probably shoot me for telling you, but he's got an impeccable memory, like unbelievable memory.
Yep.
After bench nationals, we're watching a movie. We're talking like 1976 Jaws, right? in the like least anticlimactic points, like boring parts of the movie. And he would look at the TV and he would just quote like 3-4 lines to the T. And I'm going, all right, either he's watched this thing a lot, but then we switch to another movie and he did the same damn thing. He's really a remarkable human being. He really is. It's he loves doing that pirate thing and kind of
yeah. He knows what he's doing. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's absolutely a genius. But anyway, what do you guys got going on next?
Arnold's the next stop for us.
Are you gonna be there this year at all for any reason?
I'm just coaching.
Okay, so
I'm just Yep. I don't know if you guys even pay attention, but Easton Schuster, you know,
Yep.
He won the Arnold last year at the pro bench.
I don't know if we got to watch him last year. It must have been the year before that we watched him.
Yeah, it was
bench.
the year before. Yeah, we saw him do the bench.
Yeah.
Yep. So he's doing that, and then Natalie Richardson, another one of my clients, she's going to be lifting in the Pro American on that Sunday.
Okay.
So I got 2 lifters going, and so it should be kind of fun. So I'm just going out to coach and hang out, and I've never done that. I typically try to avoid people in crowds.
That's not the place to go then. I know that. I know that for sure.
I've actually just come to the fact I'm going to drive there though, because we
did it last year. Yeah.
Every year it's delayed. Every year flights canceled. It's just no.
I can tell you that driving's also not that fun either, but
it's one of those drives where you go like 18 hours and the scenery doesn't change.
We'll probably be pretty well tied to our booth the whole time, but you have to make sure if and at least stop by there so we can talk to you when you're there.
Absolutely, we'll swing by.
All right, sweet. Awesome. Unless Easton doesn't win, then don't bother showing up. We don't want to talk to losers.
I like his chances.
Yeah,
I'm just letting the cat out of the bag right there. I like his chances.
Yep.
So
right on.
Yeah. Anyway, once again, hey, I appreciate you guys for helping out with that bench nationals. Those guys who got the shirts, I see them wearing them all the time. So that was good stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad we get to be a part of it. And any meet that you got in the future, of course, we want to be involved in that in some way or another.
Absolutely.
Are you going to take any of my suggestions ever to heart? Because most of these Massenomics listeners probably don't realize that, like when I'm walking through Fleet Farm and I see a logo, I'll like take a picture of it.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you ever thought about this one?
That's what I was going to ask you before you got off the call here. Is what do you think is your favorite Massenomics logo, or Massenomics design that we've got so far?
Here's the thing. I love strength. All forms of strength. I respect everybody and what they do. Everyone thinks that just because I'm a bench guy, I'm in love with it. But I do like your bench heavy shirt.
It is pretty good. That is one of the most popular ones. It is for sure. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Followed closely by deadlifter. That one's good.
Yeah.
The shorts. So.
The shorts. Yes.
I've
category of their own.
I actually stood outside Hy-Vee this year and had my own kettle for Salvation Army during Christmas season.
Raising money
to buy lift shorts, and I still couldn't raise enough.
Well, there's always next Christmas.
there is. I got to figure something out to get a pair of those.
Beg, borrow, steal.
You know what's next, though? You need to do a pair of lift kilt for all the Highland Games guys.
There we go. That could be something.
Yep.
I don't know who's going to be able to afford it, but
that's even more material.
If there's dudes at the gym nowadays with hoodies with cutoff sleeves and man tights, I'm pretty sure you could sell kilts.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
If someone could figure it out, we could.
Yeah.
Yep. Nice. So anyway.
All right. Well, thanks for letting us bug you for a little bit. We'll have to get you on here again now that we're calling people.
Well, this is number 200. We'll for sure see you by the time we get to 400 or 400.
Yeah.
By 650 maybe. Let's just don't hold out.
All right.
Good chatting to you guys.
All right. Thanks, Jona.
Wow, another one on the list. So that we started with Tyler.
Yep.
Co-creator of the podcast.
Yep.
We went to Jona, what we think might be our first guest ever.
And also meat director for many meets that we've
Meat director for many meets, IPF. I like how the IPF bench world champion is like
comes after
the last thing that we're saying there.
Yeah,
that is obviously the most important thing.
Right,
but someone we've got to interact with multiple times and take part in his meets and know that he's an awesome guy.
Yep.
And this is fun so far. This is
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
We're 45 minutes in already.
Well, that's what I
Tanner.
was going to say. Do we have to do any advertisements before we
I'm glad you said
jump
that
into the
because
next
you know I would have forgot about that whole thing.
Yeah, don't forget about that. That's what makes these calls possible.
Makes the
We have-
world go round.
otherwise, we'd have to call collect.
Yeah. Is that still a thing anymore? Can you still make a collect call? Remember how much there used to be commercials on for that?
Yeah, all the time, right?
Yeah, there was, what was it? There was two big companies, and I cannot remember, but they had commercials on TV all the time.
Well, and their phone number wasn't like call collect or something. I can't remember.
Yeah, there was two of them.
Yeah.
I cannot remember what they were. And they had like crazy ads. Like simpler time. Today's show is brought to you by Lifting Large. Lifting Large sets the new standard for customer service within the strength world. Get email responses in hours and not days. They now have a live website chat support available during the weekdays so you can get advice from a real powerlifter with actual platform experience.
Ooh, that's handy.
That is very handy. The Lifting Large team wants to help you achieve new PRs in the gym and on the competition stage. When you're ready to try single ply and come to the dark side, give them a call. Lifting Large is the home of the Ground Lock deadlift slipper, which is always in stock and ready to ship. Massenomics listeners can save 20% on all Lifting Large branded products by using discount code MASS20 at checkout. That's MASS20 at checkout to save 20% on all Lifting Large branded items, just like those Ground Lock deadlift slippers.
Exactly.
Place your orders at liftinglarge.com today, and you can follow them on Instagram at liftinglarge.com. That's liftinglarge.com. The Massenomics Podcast is also brought to you by Spud Inc. and the Fat Tricep Strap. Going after that vascular forearm look? I think we all are.
Yes.
This strap is the thickest and largest of the Spud Inc. strap arsenal and will help you get that pump you're chasing. The Spud Inc. Fat Tricep Strap is the largest, thickest strap handle they have ever made. The Fat Tricep Strap is designed to build your forearms, and make everyday exercises like pull-ups, face pulls, and push downs excruciating. And because it's built from a nearly indestructible nylon webbing, the strap will last a lot longer than your grip ever will. Check out Spud Inc. and the Fat Tricep Strap online at spud-inc-straps.com. And this episode is also brought to you by Hybrid Performance Method. If you've been training without a coach and have been looking for a competitive edge, remember to check out hybridperformancemethod.com. Hybrid has 15 different strength and fitness programs covering everything from powerlifting and strongman to gymnastics and general fitness, all included in one training membership. That's not all. Hybrid also offers one-on-one personalized nutrition coaching that uses lifestyle habits and a flexible approach to shape your nutrition plan around your current lifestyle, instead of turning your lifestyle upside down in order to support unsustainable habits that only work in the short run the way most programs do. If you're ready to take your training, nutrition, or both to the next level, use code MASS in all caps for 5% off membership to all programs for the life of your membership. Thank you.
Money in the bank.
And thank you to our
Yeah,
sponsors,
thanks, sponsors.
for being around for this ride on episode number 200.
I hope we keep all these ones up through 300.
Yeah, I hope so. Well, should we hop back
Yeah,
into the old conversation machine? And
We got more.
see
we
which
got
way,
more people to get
see
to
which
here.
way the wind blows us.
Speaking of big bench presses.
Did you have something to add to that, Tanner?
It's coming right here.
Oh, is that another phone call I hear?
Oh, what is that?
Is that what that noise is? Are we calling someone again? The third phone call?
Do we know a third person?
Do we really know 3 people to call in one night?
Hello, this is James.
James? James who?
Well, AKA Swim Hack, AKA First Comment, AKA Lift Short Mambo. I mean, you name it, whatever.
Those are some titles to have to a name right there.
Is some titles. So, James, you are live on the Massenomics podcast as we speak. How does that feel?
Oh my goodness. It doesn't feel quite as good as these lift shorts, but it's a close second. I swear it's probably a third to First Comment, but it feels pretty good.
Okay. So that is something I wanted to discuss right away. You, I believe, have the crown for undisputed world champ of First Comment. How does that feel?
Well, it's very humbling, and I accept this award on behalf of all of those that I have
beat the shit out of.
gracefully stepped on along the way. There are some secrets that I won't let out of the bag.
But that's what I wondered, if you're going to give away all that or not.
I think you do have. I don't think you're just saying it. I think you do have a secret because you are on something.
You know, there's a group of at least one or two handfuls of people out there that any given week, they're pretty seriously trying to beat you in that. You know, like they're taking it serious that they want to win.
Well, okay, so I'm only going to put one tip out there.
And they're all listening, right? They're all listening right now is the problem. So
I know, and in fact, there's a very good chance that this week, if you just scroll down to the comments right now as you're listening to this, you'll see my name number one. I'm just saying, there's a very good chance of that. I mean, unless I'm no longer here on this planet or somehow I'm benching or something. But even that, I mean, First Comment takes first place priority over even benching. I'm sorry. Yes. But the one tip that I have, seriously, I mean, my fingers are still hurting all day long, like 5 hours worth of just working out my fingers and First Comment. I mean, it's tiring. It really is. Sometimes I just want to sit back and watch everybody else. And I've done it a couple times, but it doesn't feel good to lose. I mean, second place is the first loser.
It's not that you hate. It's not that you love winning. It's you hate losing, right?
And what I really hate is losing to my wife sitting next to me.
Actually, speaking of the reigning champion, I believe Mrs. Swim Hack is the reigning champion as we sit here today. Am I right? Or was that last? Okay, yeah.
No, that's right. She is. Yeah. She beat me by 11 seconds.
Wow, double digits.
I was slipping major.
We don't want First Comment to come between a marriage or anything like that, but I guess it's important.
We have it in. We had to, have an agreement. We had a lawyer draw it up and notarize it and everything, but we are not going to let that break us up. So it's just it won't happen.
All right.
Now,
Family
if anything, it does cause some tension. But the lift shorts keep things straight. So
just knowing you're sitting on a gold mine, it makes you sleep a little better at night.
Money and lift shorts solve a lot of problems.
It's like, gold bullion and gold coins used to be the currency that everybody would like, they don't want to put money in the bank.
Yeah.
Lift shorts is where it's at. I mean, if you stock up on your lift shorts, even if it's just one pair, I mean, you're set. So
that's sound financial advice.
If there's an apocalypse. I mean, I'm sure I could get I think if I got about 6 pair, I might be able to get like a seat on one of the SpaceX flights, but I'm working on it.
I think the last time I checked, that was the conversion rate. So I think you are right there.
It's somewhere in there. It's like 300 million or something, somewhere in that range.
So I guess we didn't really talk about it, but give people a quick background on, I think everyone that listens to the Massenomics podcast knows who you are already and is pretty well aware of what you do and everything, but give people a rundown on your lifting real quick. So just in case there is anyone out there that doesn't know.
So I am known mostly for my bench press.
I thought you were a total only guy now though.
I'm trying to be, I swear I'm trying to be. And, but I started powerlifting officially just over 5 years ago, which is kind of strange because I still feel like a beginner, but I came into the sport not knowing anything about powerlifting. Somebody just said, "Hey, you got a 600-pound gym bench." I was basically the Larry Wheels of the time, or Johnny Harris is a guy that's coming up right now. These guys that seem to be coming out of the woodwork, out of nowhere, and then competing and doing these crazy either all-time totals or all-time bench or whatever. That was me 5 years ago. So I didn't know what I was doing. My first meet, which it's still humbling for me. I mean, I know a lot of guys. It's a lot of weight. And it is a lot of weight, but my first meet I did like 474, but I was chasing a 600 bench. So to me, it was like I have a lot to work here.
Sure, you're right.
But took me about 2 years of official powerlifting to actually solidify a 600-pound bench on the platform. And that's kind of what broke the mold. Everybody was like, oh my goodness, who is this guy? And it was very humbling because it kind of made me as a powerlifter. And then I started going, posting these lifts, and people were like, what's your squat? And I'm like, covering my mouth up, and my squats were high, and just, I didn't put any work into my legs because being a swimmer from a past life, I never had to work legs. So I just did bench. And of course, even now you go to a gym, what do you bench? Somebody says, how much do you deadlift? How much do you squat? What's your total? Unless you're a powerlifter.
Right.
And so I just worked on bench all the time, and I was really good at it. And it just came natural. And I had very little injuries even up to this point. So I was able to progress really, really rapidly. And a lot of that, most of that was drug free. I mean, that's something a lot of people will ask me. I'll just be straight up honest, is I was able to get to a 600 raw bench on the platform drug free.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know about anything else.
Right.
And so, when I started doing the total stuff, I was very humbled, of course, because I'm competing against guys that if they're benching 600, they're probably totaling, a lot more than I was,
Sure.
2,000 plus 2,300, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And here I am trying to squeak out a 600 squat, which is nothing bad. It's nothing to be ashamed of, but compared to a 900 squat, it looked really silly in my flight.
Yeah. Right.
Deadlifting, 6, maybe 700. And then all of a sudden bench flights would come and it'd just blow everybody out of the water.
Yeah.
So
I was like, geez, what is going on?
Yeah. So so that kept me humble. I think I'd come from pretty humble beginnings and upbringing anyways. I'm not a real flashy type of person. I mean, I'd love to show off like anybody else, but I was able to show up on the platform and perform and bench and be like, okay, this is really cool. You're a superstar. But then I'd go to deadlift and I got embarrassed. I mean, they weren't really embarrassing me. They weren't being mean, but I was feeling the embarrassment. It'd be like somebody showing up at their first meet, and they just don't know what to expect. That was me pretty much every time I'd step on the platform for anything other than bench.
Right.
And it just drove me to want to get better at those lifts. And here we are, couple meets later, and I think I'm trying to hold my own.
Well, those numbers keep climbing.
Yeah, for sure. I think that speaks for itself a little bit too. You mentioned your first meet where you had that 474 bench and everything. So I remember that number because you have been on a Massenomics rookie card before. So I remember that number as I was making it. You've also been in a Massenomics Versus post before. Which of those do you think is more prestigious of an honor, to make the Massenomics rookie card or to make the Massenomics Versus?
That's a tough one. If I had to say, like, the Versus would edge it out just slightly, only because I don't know if I've seen as many Versus as I have rookie cards, and I may be wrong on that, but it just seems like I don't see enough of those compared to the rookie cards.
There are more Versus in existence than there are rookie cards, but Versus has been around longer, and I would agree still, even though there's more Versus, I think it's more prestigious to make the Versus than it is the rookie card still, just because there's a whole nother element that goes into that than what goes into a rookie card.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Well, and how many, let's just put it this way, how many people know who King of the Hill is?
Right.
Or what King of the Hill is?
Right.
And if you're in a Versus against that, I mean, you can't beat that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you just can't.
That's
Exactly.
true.
I mean,
that's right.
King of the Hill is more popular than I don't want to say all of the Versus because I can't really quote them all, but a lot of those Versus are against other people, which aren't near as popular as King of the Hill. So I think Versus hands down.
I do really like your Versus too. I think that's a good one. That's a winner. So there's some that are winners, and that's a winner.
It is funny because I didn't know about King of the Hill until after somebody made fun of me and said Strickland propane. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? And I thought it was because there's actually a Strickland Chevrolet dealership about 30 miles from where I live. And I've been teased about that, or, people, hey, I want a Chevrolet from you. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, it's an inside joke. It's not funny with me. And especially, I mean, if there's two other people and me, it's funny to them, but you're talking to me by myself. That's not funny. You got to explain the joke. It's not funny. And they tell me, and then finally it was like, it's a show. You don't watch it. I'm like, oh, well, let me check it out. And then I got kind of hooked on it. So
It is good.
We've been, this is episode 200 for us. So we've been doing a little bit of reminiscing about the the greatest hits in the Massenomics catalog here. And I do have to tell you, James, you have one of my favorite Massenomics discussions of all time online. And I think it stemmed from an actual first comment video. Someone said, damn, swim hack beats me again.
Oh, I know what it is.
And Tanner, you maybe remember the conversation better than me, but you said something about, someone said, oh, I was at the pool, and you said, no excuses, bring like a Ziploc bag or something.
You had to cover your phone.
You had to cover your phone. And the other person said, wow, that really is a swim hack.
Like, that's an actual swim hack. You remember that, I'm sure, don't you?
I remember that. Yeah. Yep. That was great. Funny. The one that I really liked the most was when, and by the way, Tommy, I've never really said this to you like in person. I definitely will at the Arnold, so you know I mean it. But dude, you and I have so much in common. It's not even funny. Like a lot of the stuff. That you
our
call
bench,
BS
we both
on,
rep 500 really easy on the bench.
Well, and that's the thing. I'm going to teach you everything you need to know. You're going to pass up Tommy in a heartbeat. Before you know, you're going to be repping with one arm. But you call a lot of BS on stuff, or like you'll talk about shows and you're like, why do people care about that? Like, that's just marketing. I hate this. And I'm like, dude, I'm the same. Like, I watch commercials. I'm like, why do people get sold on this crap? Like, this doesn't work.
Yeah. It's one of those things where you got to like take a step back and be like, all right, what's really going on here? Most people can't do that.
Yes. Though. And I get it. I mean, that's part of the, we won't even go off on that tangent, but I get that. I mean, in some marketing works, obviously, but like I'll watch somebody making a cheesecake on TV. I'm like, I got to go get cheesecake, or whatever that restaurant is. I got to go there right now. And that's marketing. But I think the funniest thing was, and I don't remember which episode this was, but it was, you guys were talking about something about one of my lifts or one of my videos that I posted up, and there was a troll going after me, or you had mentioned that I must get this a lot, and it's like a daily thing. And you were talking about, just how people kind of interact online, and how there's just like, I'm going to tell you everything about your life, your lift, and give you all the advice that you need, and you'll be fine. And I was just rolling for like a week after that. And I played it over and over again. I think I even reposted that clip because I was like, people need to hear this.
Yeah. Right.
Like, you don't even know the stories.
Yep.
It is really funny too, what people will say online, and then in person, that person, when they see you, instead of being like that, they're going to be like, oh man, it's so awesome to meet you.
Buddy. Yeah.
Oh, you are a big dude. Just like in person, people aren't like that. Like, how often in person do you run into someone that's going to say something openly disrespectful or mean to you? Like, that rarely ever happens.
Let's put it like this. I don't I take everything online with a grain of salt, but I still don't trust it. I mean, I've got a family, and I got to protect myself and my kids. And, there's some crazies out there. So I'm constantly looking over my shoulder and just being in a defensive mode, because I'm like, okay, I told this guy he better meet me at the gym if he wants to talk shit to me. And I'm looking for the guy at the gym. I'm like, come on in, brother.
I don't think anyone's going to do that.
Get me in the middle of my bench set. Hey, watch my back, bro. So it's like, but nobody does that. I mean, it'd be stupid to do it anyways, but it's funny how people will just literally go back and forth and lose their shit. I mean, it's like they're out of control over
they are, yeah.
Just you saying you're wrong. That's not what I agree with. And they're like, what? No, man, the world's going to end. It's hilarious.
Hey, the other thing I was thinking about is we did the interview with you, Tommy, and Tyler and I in the cage would have been 2 years ago, I think, in Columbus, right? Would that be 2 years ago now?
That would be 2 years ago, and I double-checked my facts on this one. So I've been officially following the Massenomics podcast for 100 episodes.
That's what I was going to ask.
Right.
So when we interviewed you there, I know we didn't have near as much of an Instagram presence as we do now, and probably not near as many people listen to the podcast and everything. Did you have any idea who we were or what Massenomics was when we came up to you in the cage? Because I don't think we would talk to you ahead of time at all. I know I followed you and everything, we followed you, but were you aware whatsoever what we were?
Yes, but it was kind of vague. It was a little bit like I had probably heard a couple things or seen a couple things or seen a logo somewhere. And it was definitely not very familiar with it. But then as soon as I started listening, like right away, kind of going back and forth. And as a matter of fact, just for the record, I have second comments on your very first episode.
The first YouTube posted episode of the podcast. Okay.
When you were sitting in your chair and you kind of did the little spin around and you said, all right.
The first Massenomics. Episode. Yes. The first ever Massenomics YouTube video. Yeah. That was before.
It wasn't the very first video posted because that was like workout videos, but it was like the actual first official, hey, this is Massenomics being launched.
And that's probably at least a 5-year-old video. You know, what I would recommend to people is not to go back and look at that.
It is pretty funny though, just to go back if you want to get a little nostalgia. Every now and then, once a week, go back to like scroll back as far as you can go and just start playing with them and just see what you can find out.
Those guys had no idea what they were doing.
One other question?
But honestly,
go ahead.
Go ahead.
No. Mine's completely unrelated to that. So,
well, I was gonna say that's literally my motto. And like people ask me like the success in business. I mean, obviously you want to have a plan, this stuff like that, but. As with anything that I've done that I've been successful with, I've literally just kind of faked it till I made it. Yeah. And that's like the story of my life. Like my web design business, my powerlifting, my swimming, my everything that I've been successful with is just like totally random that I just was like, I'm going to figure it out. Just kind of how I go. And you end up being passionate about it and going better and better. And you look back on some of the like, Tommy, I'm sure you're the same way. You look back on some of the old websites, you're like, oh my goodness, what was I thinking? Like, this was horrible.
Yeah. But that's the thing though. Like if you don't ever look back and be like, ooh, man, I was not very good. Like you're obviously not getting better if you don't look back at your old stuff and be like, that wasn't good, So I think that's always a good sign when that's happening. And we were talking about it right before we even got going here is that, it's taken us, we feel like 150-ish episodes to even find our voice and to figure out like how we're doing this whole thing. And, we're doing some phone calls here and this is something completely different for us too. So this might even be a new avenue.
Yep.
It's cozy in this little box right between you guys. It really is. I mean, I know you guys can't see me, but it's really cozy.
I feel like
right
you're sitting between
red
us.
Button that's lit up, man. I'm right there.
I can feel it.
It's funny how you know exactly what where
we're actually looking at the red button when you say that.
So I'm like maybe 2 inches over from Kaz or something like that.
Just like that, pretty much.
Yep. What is your favorite? I was kind of asking the other people we've called on this episode too. What is your favorite Massenomics shirt that you own?
That I own the Yeah Buddy shirt just because it's blue. It stands out. I mean, I right off the bat, I have to pick that one. But I am very much interested in getting my hands on whatever I have to do. The OG logo, but red on the black that you were in on the podcast, like 3, 4.
Yeah.
I was like, that looks so familiar. I'm looking through my closet. I'm like, there's no way I have that. But if I have it, it's cool. But
no, that doesn't even exist in anything larger than an X. There's only 3 of those ever in existence. But that might be something we have to
put on the list to bring back someday. I think
we could get that made in a 3X. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Should be a special Arnold edition, cage edition.
We do have some stuff coming for the Arnold though here that will probably save a few things for you once we see you there. That's a good point too. What you're lifting in the cage at the Arnold here in March then?
I have got yes, I will be there I'll be there on Friday. I'm trying to remember what time it was. I don't want to quote it and be wrong, but basically Friday afternoon I'll be in there with Thomas Davis, and he's slated to go bench, obviously. I am still planning on doing a squat, bench, deadlift medley. So basically an AMRAP of each one, 700 squat, raw, sleeve, and then 600 bench for reps, and then an 800 deadlift. But
that sounds
I am training right now. So it's basically a 2100 total.
Yeah.
Taken to the next level. Now it is going to be somewhat. I mentioned this on one of my YouTube recaps earlier today. I was actually filming it, but if something comes up where the squat and deadlift end up messing up my bench training, or I think that's going to, because this is kind of where I'm pulling out all the stops for the 700 run. If I start to think that those aren't going to, if they're going to negatively affect my training for bench, then I'll back those down and I'll just either not do them in the cage and just do my normal bench workout, which probably at that time will be mid 600s for reps. And then a meet shortly after that. But whatever it is, it'll be a show in the cage. So I'm sure with TD, if it's bench only, it's not going to matter anyway. So we'll have some fun.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah.
And then you'll also you're going to stop and hang out with us a little bit too. Keep us company sometimes, aren't you, at the old Massenomics booth?
Yep, I'm gonna come over there and take a couple naps and maybe put Huck Finn on my shoulders this time. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Perfect.
Yep, that's what we want to hear.
Now we have one or two other calls that we still have to make, but before we hang up on you and go to the next one, is there anything else you need to talk to us or tell us about Big Swim Hack?
Just keep doing what you're doing. I mean, I know it sounds like it's funny, and it is. It's entertaining. And at the end of the day, it's not a podcast about nothing, but it is, but in a way, like, but it's cool because you don't necessarily have to. I tune in. I freaking watch and listen to every episode. Now it's kind of a thing where I'm going to listen to the whole episode if I haven't listened to it already. By the time my bench day rolls around on the way to bench workout, it's like the perfect time. And it keeps getting a little longer. So
it does.
We'll warn you, this one's going to be long.
Every week.
Yeah, this will break the record.
I'm going to have to listen to it like 10 minutes every day for a week to get through the whole thing. But seriously, keep doing what you guys are doing. The support is growing. I mean, I love the inside jokes, and it's inspiring. It's inspiring. And it's refreshing to see a different take than so much seriousness, which is fun. Things are fine, but there's a lot of BS out there, and this is just kind of refreshing to just be like, it doesn't always have to be so serious. It can just be fun and good time. And you guys are making money at it right now, which is amazing. So anybody that's listening to this, go to the website right now and buy something. It's all, look, the lift shorts, you may not be able to afford. I get it. Okay. It's the wealthy. Nobody drives a Lamborghini for no reason, but go and buy the Pinto on the website.
Give us what you can. Yeah. Give us what you can.
Yeah. Or just donate. Figure out a way to throw some money at you guys and keep the podcast rolling, because if they want to support me and my lifting, they can do it through you guys kind of in a virtual way, surrogate way. So if you guys keep doing your thing, then I can keep doing my thing, and we're all happy.
For sure.
Or if you just want to burn Swim Hack to the ground, just donate to Massenomics and they'll figure out a way to do it.
There we go.
And also, I would tell people to make sure to, I think they're probably all following you on Instagram if you're not, do that, but make sure that you're subscribing to your YouTube channel too.
Yeah.
I know you have, I know you, yeah.
Both places, Swim Hack. I don't do anything else because it's too much. And I'm sure when Instagram finally burns to the ground, which I'm sure someday it will.
Let's hope let's just hope that's not soon.
Hopefully not soon. Yeah.
Wouldn't be good for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But that new algorithm sucks.
I think it's kicking us in the balls a little bit. I think it's kicking a lot of people in the balls. Yes.
We have statistics to prove it. Yeah. Something has changed.
Yes. Yep. I've heard many people comment that same thing.
We're probably just not funny anymore, I guess.
Yeah. We finally played out the lift shorts.
You're going to have to step your game up. You're going to have to do the lift shorts 5.0, 6.0.
Well, you know it's coming someday.
Hopefully. Let's go.
Well, we appreciate having you on here. Yep. We will have you on again here probably fairly soon, but we'll stay in touch on that and get you on again and get you on for an overrated, underrated segment. A special swim hack edition.
Uh-oh, I'll be ready.
All right.
Thanks, James.
All right, see ya.
All right, y'all have a good one. See ya.
Bye. All right, number 3.
Should we do it?
We keep knocking them out. Should we go into the finale?
Let's do it.
We're already at the hour and 13-minute mark.
This is our last caller.
This is our last caller.
He's waiting on us. We can't.
Caller number 4.
Can't disappoint.
Only number I would know from Aberdeen, South Dakota.
Wait, I know that voice.
That's the only number you need to know from Aberdeen, South Dakota. I mean, it's one of like 100 numbers from Aberdeen, South Dakota. So
I'm sure. Yeah, I was gonna say.
All right. So yeah, we haven't told anyone who we got on the phone here now, so you better introduce yourself.
Oh, good evening. I'm Brandon Allen. Hey guys, this is Daniel Bell, and you're welcome. That's it. Good night.
You probably could have just rolled with Brandon Allen the whole time.
I think you could have.
And there might have been half the people that might not have known that you were full of shit through the whole thing.
I'm not stoned enough for that.
You're not saying that you're not stoned. You're just not stoned enough.
Right, exactly. That's awesome.
We heard that you lift some weights. Is that true?
I've done a time or 10. I'm really getting good at that 12 ounce curl though.
That's the only lift that really
the most
matters.
important lift of them all.
Yeah, you guys even have my wife saying crispy boys. Like, I smack myself in the forehead every time she says it.
She's learning.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So what was the big total? What's the number that you put up? We better that's the big
better clear the air.
we better just bring that up here first right away.
1142.5. It's a 2518.7 pounds.
The biggest raw powerlifting total of all time ever. So you're better at powerlifting than anyone else has ever been at powerlifting. Is that? I mean, that's just a fact, right?
Well, I was November 23rd. I mean, I don't know about right now.
Sure.
I had a good day.
What was the last bullshit comment I saw someone say on one of our posts about that? So, someone on Instagram, they were mad because yours didn't count, only Don Reinholtz did, and I can't remember what all the reasons were, but there was some reason that yours doesn't count, and I don't even remember what it was now, but just so you know.
Yeah, are you aware that yours doesn't count?
Yeah.
Oh, good. I wish it didn't. It just seems so better than Cuba.
So does that, after having the all-time world record like that now, does that make you want to train harder and break it again, or is it kind of like, man, I did it, like
that's kind of that.
I kind of done what I needed to do?
I didn't really publicize it the way everything went that day, but I definitely know I have more in the tank. So that's what's like kept me really hungry. And through like all my training partners and like just like, like Ed and like some of the other guys I really look up to, and they like critiqued everything and watch my YouTube video and watch the meet videos and stuff like that. They're like, without a doubt, you got 2,600 in you. And I'm just like, you guys are stroking me pretty good right now, but 2550 would be cool. I just want it to be untouchable for a minute because I know 2518 is not.
Well, that's the scary thing though. Is it like it's like one good meet away for a lot of guys right now? Is the crazy thing about it?
Oh, exactly. But I mean, I was also in their shoes too, trying to knock on that door for 2 years. Just making everything come together on that day is another story. Dylan Hellriegel and a few other guys. I'm just like, 2,500 is no joke. Like, it sucked. And the whole part of that, like the last 3 weeks and then meet day, it was just tough. It was really tough.
Yeah. So I mean, are you calling it? Is 2,600 in the book someday?
I'm gonna tell you right now, I will have 11, 6, and 9 on the bar at the Kern.
11, 6, and 9.
What
I like those
that?
numbers.
When is that?
It's April 25th.
Damn, that's not that far away.
No, we actually starting prep this week, kind of. I mean, I got to do some other stuff. I'm going to be lifting the cage this year and do a little charity event. It's going to be fun. We're really doing a 5-on-5. I'm on Steffi Cohn's team. Going to go against Rob Hall and some other people.
Do you know who else is on your team or what the matchup is?
Yeah, we're so stacked. It's ridiculous. It's Jamal Browner.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Steffi. And then the Bryany. Horrible with names. I think that's her name. She's from Oregon.
Okay.
Pulled like 5. I think she's close to 585. But yeah, she's on her team, and then me. Yeah. So all 5 of us, all 4 of us. We have to do like one lift each. Well, hoist the waist. Chris Waist, I think's his name.
Yeah, Chris Waist. Yeah.
Guys got hook gripping 880 like nothing. I'm just like, my thumbs. Yeah, Yeah. Like I think he's doing conventional. Jamal's doing sumo. I'm doing back squats. Steffi's doing high bar, and Brianny's benching, I believe. But it's like our highest total. versus Rob Hall's team's highest total, and like Animal donates a bunch of money to the charity that we choose. So I was really pumped about that part of it.
Cool. And you guys picked the Massenomics charity, right?
I believe that was the LLC we went with. Yeah, exactly.
Perfect.
That's awesome.
Hey, on your your world record meet on that last deadlift, on your third deadlift, did you consider at all for a second going up in weight?
Oh, I threw a temper tantrum in the back room because my second one.
Oh, it was crazy. It was easy.
So stupid. Yeah, I wanted 900 so bad, and I still do. Like, I'm still pissed about it, but I'm glad I went with 881.
Yeah, that had to have been such a tough call at that time, though, because to lock in the record or to do when you could do more. I mean, I don't know. That's
right,
tough.
Exactly. That's why I don't know. I went over strategically with my plan for that day over and over and over the entire week before, and like also thought about those scenarios because everybody that's a powerlifter knows. I mean, you don't always have the best day. So I was going in my head, but I went in the back room and threw a fit, and then like Trevor and Daniel Tinajero, like Trevor Jaffe and all those guys were like, just lock it in. Just go 881. And I'm like, you guys are right, but I still want to be a 12-year-old right now. Yeah. So it was a good call. I actually got the meet director, WRPF, you can have a fourth attempt. It won't count towards your total or whatever. So I asked him beforehand. I was like, can we just put 900 on the bar? I just want to pull it to say that I pulled it. Like, this is more for pride for me than anything. And he was like, yeah, cool. But then on my third one, I ripped 2 calluses off, and I was like, no, I'm gonna go get drunk. I'm not pulling anything else.
Time to party.
Yeah, exactly.
You might have the biggest powerlifting total ever, but we were in a competition with you one time where we saw you got beat by a little skinny kid. Do you remember that competition?
I'm pretty sure Tyler and I talked about his 900-pound sub PR after that too. Yeah, I still talk shit to him too, so that's whatever.
So for anyone that doesn't know, it was a pizza eating contest that we were in with Dan, and then there's some ringer that showed up and
probably weighed 150 pounds.
Yep, and got his glass of water and started dunking his crust in the water. And yeah.
So gnarly. I still remember that like it was yesterday. That he still does competition stuff. I followed him on Instagram.
I've seen him on there before too.
Fangirled him a little bit. So it's awesome.
Oh, you go ahead.
So Dan, you somewhat, I mean, in the last year or two here, you've left the Midwest. You've left the Midwesterners behind. You've became a Florida man. What's been the biggest?
Don't say it like that.
Florida man headline.
Yeah, exactly.
What's been the biggest adjustment going from the Midwest to Florida for you?
Well, I knew going into it, like last summer was going to suck, and it did. I'm not going to lie. I mean, the humidity was outrageous, but then like the start of November, all the humidity left, and now it's like sunny and 70 every day. So I literally walk outside, take the dogs out every morning in just my shorts, and so but the biggest adjustment for me was the weather, and then it was just it was still so weird to me, like waking up and be like, I'm not freezing right now, and I don't have to go shovel the driveway.
We do that for you.
We are
still
deep in the middle of that right now.
It's so funny. I give all my friends shit. Like, I was home last weekend for a family funeral, but then like before that, I always go back. The airport's like literally 30 minutes from my house, and it goes right to 2 airports in between home. And like I was there multiple times over the summer, and I'm just like pointing at everybody's shovel, like snow shovels. I'm like, I never have to use one of those again, like ever. Oh, so nice, so nice.
This is go ahead.
No, sorry about that. Aren't like the changes or anything like that. Like, it wasn't too bad. Like, I noticed, like, it was hot, but like having to make any adjustments or anything like that. The gym I got down here, they welcomed me with open arms, which kind of expected that. But like the training crews, like at first we were like nobody really knew anybody, but now like everybody, we're just like a big family, and it's been really welcoming. Like, I don't think I would have received that there in Illinois where I was. Like, even then I was traveling 2-3 hours to go to a gym where I had other people or people I could count on the spot and stuff like that. But here it's literally 20 minutes down the street from my house. It's beautiful.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's probably a big unexpected one.
Yeah.
You would never think that going all the way across the country that you'll just have a home gym waiting for you.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Oh, exactly. There's so awesome people there too. And they're big name guys. I mean, a lot of them are gear, but there's a lot of raw guys too that are out there. They're just killing it. So I didn't expect it, but I gotta say it was definitely a saving grace.
Yeah, that's awesome. This is our 200th episode, and part of what we're doing is kind of reminiscing a little bit about old past shit that we've done. And one of the ones I was thinking about with you when we recorded the podcast episode with you at the Arnold that year, we, you came back to our little Airbnb. Do you remember the walk through that park, like that 12 block walk you had to make after lifting?
Of course. Every time I get out of breath, I think about that. That was awful because Tyler and I were trying to have a normal conversation. I'm like, hold on, let me catch my breath for a second. I almost wanted to fake tie my shoes just like catch my breath a couple times.
But then you're like, bending over to tie my shoe ain't going to make me feel much better either. So.
Not worth it, yeah. Oh, yeah, that was funny. Yeah, that was good. That was hilarious. The most thing I remember about that podcast was actually the little rape couch you guys had, the air mattress in the middle of the living room.
I remember you saying something about taking Tommy to that later or something. If you had to,
I was ready to pet that hair and go to town.
Yeah, there were some comments made.
Yes, that is right.
She guys took like the curtain off of the window and laid it on the mattress like a little decorative throw pillows too. It was so homey.
You know, when you have like 12 guys in an Airbnb, you got to do what you can to make it feel like home.
Spruce it up a little bit.
Oh, that's so funny. I think Megan is probably the only reason you guys decorated whatsoever. I get it. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
Dan, do you know what they say about a carpenter who builds stairs?
Oh, dude, I was sitting there. I don't even remember what time it was when I sent that to you. But you messaged me, and I'm literally sitting there, of course, watching The Office as much as I can before Netflix gives it the boot, or I thought they were. And he says it, and I'm just like, you got to be shitting me. I rewound it, then recorded it and sent it to you. Oh, I loved it. I was like, oh my God, I had no idea. Always a step ahead.
Yeah, always thinking one step ahead.
Oh, so gold. So gold. I think I was like 10 beers deep, and I'm like, I fucking love you guys.
Awesome.
That was hilarious.
Well, I think that's going to wrap us up. We've recorded this. You're the fourth person we called. We also had Tyler on earlier this episode, so you'll have to listen to this and see who did a better job. You or Tyler on the podcast.
That funny bastard. It's hard. What's the time change for him?
It was 3:30 in the morning for him talking to us.
Good.
Yeah.
Dedicated.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yep. I appreciate you guys. You guys keep doing what you're doing. I love the over-under. I love even the podcast. You guys make my whole day, my whole week so much awesome.
Hey, just a second. Are we going to do an over-under?
I mean, we have Dan here.
Yeah, Dan, do you want to do the? We'll ask you the over/under questions this week if you got a couple more minutes.
For sure.
Okay.
All right. Do you know the rules, Dan?
I've heard them a handful of times.
Okay, so you do know the rules. Okay, that's good. Okay, I won't go over the full rules with you though, but the idea is that we ask you these questions and you have to answer with either overrated or underrated. You don't get to not answer, and your answers can be as long or as short as you want them to be. You have your druthers on making those decisions.
You have your druthers. Feel free to think out loud.
Yes. Okay. And I do have a list of them, but I didn't know at the time we were going to ask you, so I'm thinking of a couple of specific to you off my head. So topic number one, overrated or underrated, Jordans, the shoes.
Oh, man. Underrated. I had to. I'm such a fan. I had to say underrated. If I would have said overrated for that, it would have been such a shame because I have 45 pairs of them.
Well, and I'm trying to remember. I believe we saw a picture on Instagram a few years back of you. Weren't you like a ball boy, like at one of the games at halftime, like
at the
90s?
Yeah.
All the feels. Yeah, 96.
Damn, that was a
good
pinnacle.
year. That was a good year.
Yeah, that's like the year. You know, that's
How'd you get that connection?
I won a contest on the radio in Peoria, and it said like you had to be like 13 years old, and I lied through my teeth. I was only 11. I was like, yeah, I'm doing this one way or another.
You were probably the size of a 15-year-old at the time. So.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, I was a grown ass man.
Yeah. You had a beard.
Oh, that's awesome.
So on Jordan sneakers, you're saying underrated though. You got to say underrated. Okay. Overrated or underrated? All-time world records.
You're an asshole. Overrated.
Really?
Definitely.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah.
Coming from the man himself.
Yeah, the man with the record.
I had like, I don't know. I'm still a normal dude, and everybody asks me like, "Well, how does it feel to be the strongest man alive? Like,
Yeah.
the strongest power lifter of all time?" Like, I still have to get up and go to work every day. I don't know. Like, if it changed that, it'd be different.
Right.
But
Right.
no, it's cool. It's great, but you got to stay hungry. That's powerlifting.
Yep. Awesome. So overrated on all-time world records. Okay.
Overrated?
Tommy, do you have any specific for Dan? If not, I just have a couple other ones here.
I do have one for you right now.
Okay.
Overrated.
If you guys don't say LaCroix, because I hate that shit.
Don't say what?
LaCroix. We're not going to give you that one then because we know what you say.
Overrated or underrated? Monoliths.
Oh.
Overrated.
Oh,
Really?
Overrated.
Yeah, I'll say it. I'll block squats out. Whatever. I can't say that.
Yeah.
No, from a safety aspect, they're safer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
That's it.
And coming from a person that squats over 1,000 pounds regularly, that kind of means something. You know, for your average person, it probably doesn't matter that much. If we're going into the gym squatting 500 pounds, I'm safe or whatever, you know, it's just not that the level of danger is a lot lower. But when you are, you know, squatting 800 pounds plus that often, I mean, that's actually a real concern for someone that's doing that. So
exactly.
It's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right, definitely. And I mean, of course, there's always I've had so many people say, "Oh, you get 20% more out of a monolith." I don't believe that.
I don't see that.
I don't believe
you
that.
still squat at the end of the day. You're still, you know, squat. Yeah, right.
Yeah. so no, you just got to be a diversified lifter. And if you're not, then you're making excuses.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's the way I look at that.
Right on. All right, last one then. Last topic of the day: overrated or underrated? George Foreman grills.
Underrated, definitely. Definitely. That thing, I wouldn't have got through college if I didn't have a George Foreman grill.
That's kind of what we said. Yeah.
See, the problem was though, whose job is it to clean that drip tray though? That's always the.
You might as well just throw that away and get a new one once it fills up. Yeah.
After about the third time, you just throw it in the trash. You don't use it all day. Just fold paper towels and put it under there.
Yeah, that drip tray turns solid white inside from the grease.
Yeah, just like a block of wax.
Never cook fish on a George Foreman. Horrible. That's awesome. You guys rock.
All right. Well, Dan, thanks for letting us bug you for a while. Make sure we'll probably be tied to our booth for a majority of the Arnold, but if you get any chance, we'd love to have you stop by for a little bit. And
yeah, I of course checked it out. Saw you guys were over by the guys again, so yeah, I'll definitely be there for sure.
Awesome.
Right on. All right. Thanks,
boys.
man.
Thanks, Dan.
Keep doing it. Thanks. Take care.
All right. Talk to you later.
See ya. Ooh,
our last guest of the
wow.
day. The big 200 bash celebration.
We've gone on quite the trip today, Tanner.
We have. We went to Austria. We started in Aberdeen, South Dakota.
Yep, jumped to Austria. Came back stateside
Sioux
to
Falls, South Dakota. Then we went to Texas.
Yep, like Houston area, right?
Yeah, yep. I don't. What is his address? Is not Houston,
but it's the region.
Yeah. I'll Kate, maybe Katie or something like that.
I think that's right, isn't it?
Okay, that could be right. Anyways,
and then
Texas.
Because we didn't spend enough time in the southern area, we had to jump across the Gulf to Florida, man.
So we went a lot of places in this podcast.
We did.
So this was 200 and what we had alluded to coming up to 200 was that we had a change coming up. And what we did here today, we had callers on the show. That was the big change. I don't think our plan is necessarily to have...
we're not going to become the interview show.
No.
There's enough people that do that. And
right.
We probably don't have anything to add to having an interview show. This is just the market's cornered there, but we're gonna have some fun calls, some guests dropping in periodically for small parts of episodes.
Yeah, not every episode's going to be a telethon like this one was either, where we're calling people all the time, but it'll fit our style. Like just like what you just said, that we aren't going to be the interview show, but I think have a plan to fit it into kind of what we do.
To get some input and engage the community a little more. Yeah. So there'll be all types of fun things coming up.
Well, and just like what James was talking about, how we are what we are, we take a lighthearted approach to it, and we don't want to interview someone for an hour about in-depth...
about keto diets.
Right, yeah. Like that's not... Like it's fun to call these guys like what the guys that we called today and just... Ask them funny questions.
Yeah.
That fits in better with us, I believe.
Yeah, and I have more fun doing that anyways.
Yeah,
that's the type of phone calls I want to be having.
And I think this was you tested this once or twice prior to us actually recording here today. So
so hopefully these phone calls all sound decent.
They did. I mean, we can kind of tell on our end. We can hear it too.
We hear it. Tyler's was cutting, but he's
in Austria, and I imagine there's some...
Yeah, we had to use like Facebook Messenger to give him a call. But.
So these other guys should be what you would expect that audio quality is going to sound like, I think.
Yeah. And I think they were all very passable.
And
I don't think I got taken out of the moment.
Ever. No, I don't think so at all. And then the other thing, this is our last episode. We're not going to continue to record.
that was it, guys. Sorry. Yeah.
Just kidding. Okay. Anything else to put a bow on 200, or is it? I guess not.
Massenomics.
That's
Gino said it best. What else can you say,
man? That's what it is.
Yeah, now it's like this was
forever.
The excitement, and now back to the grind for the next 100 until we get to that new milestone.
Until we can start season 4.
That's right. Thanks to our sponsors for this episode. This show was brought to us by Lifting Large. Lifting Large is your one-stop online shop for powerlifters, strongmen, Highland Games athletes, CrossFit athletes, and anyone that lifts iron. Visit liftinglarge.com today. There's free shipping on any orders over $60, and 99% of the orders are shipped the same day that they are placed. Today's episode is also brought to you by Spud Inc. The goal of Spudding Straps is to make products that support sports performance and help everyone achieve their training goals. They make products that last forever, won't bust your budget, and most importantly, leave no doubt about success when everything is on the line. Check them out online at spud-inc-straps.com. This episode is also brought to you by Hybrid Performance Method. They're your one-stop shop for all things fitness and online coaching. Whether your goals are training-related, nutrition and body composition-related, or both, Hybrid has a program for you. With dedicated and experienced coaches in each strength and fitness discipline, you can rest assured that you're in the best hands possible. Make sure to use our discount code MASS in all caps for 5% off any training or nutrition membership for the life of your membership. Visit hybridperformancemethod.com. Also, thank you to Tyler, Jonah, James, and Dan on this one.
Not Brandon Allen. It was Dan.
No, it was. That was clever though.
I like that.
Very good. That was very good. Make sure to follow all those guys on everywhere that you follow those guys. Follow us on everywhere that you follow us on. Tommy, what's your
you can
Instagram?
Find me at tomahawk_D.
And of course, follow the official Massenomics Instagram page at Massenomics. We'll catch you next time for 201.